Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Study with Medico. Here we are going to discuss the fourth chapter, that is Animal Kingdom, and here I highlighted all the key points of this chapter. So let's get started. This is the most important chapter और ये थियोरेटिकल चैप्टर भी है, तो इसका हर एक लाइन भी याद रखना ज़रूरी होता है। तो इसका वेटेज भी काफ़ी अच्छा है, 3 से 4 क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं और 2013 में तो इससे 5 क्वेश्चन पूछा है। तो इसका लाइन से लाइन इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि पूछ लेता है ट्रिप्लोबास्टिक कौन है, इसका रिप्रोडक्शन मेथड कैसा है, इंटरनल है या एक्सटर्नल है। तो आप कंफ्यूज होता है, बच्चे कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर में। तो हम इसका एनसीईआरटी माइंड मैप्स भी लेकर आएंगे बहुत जल्दी। ये चैप्टर ख़त्म हो जाए तो फिर हम इसका माइंड मैप लेकर आएंगे, तो कनेक्टेड रहिए। Previous chapter we studied about the plant kingdom, and here you are going to study the animal kingdom. There are some bases, there are some common features by which we can classify the animals, and those features are arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of xylem, patterns of digestive and circular or reproductive system. These features are used for the classifications of the animals. Let's talk about the levels of organizations. As we know that animals are multicellular and eukaryotes. In this chapter we are going to study the about 10 phylum in which they are developing their levels of organization from cell to the organs levels or organ system level of organizations. So first we are going to study about the sponges, in which we can see the cellular level of organizations. If we go for the coelenterals, one or more cells are arranged together and performing the same functions, and we called as this the tissue level of organizations. If we go higher level of organization, we can see organ levels in phylum Platyhelminths and other higher phyla. If we see animals like Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca, we can see the organs have associated to form a functional system, and this functional system are called as the organ level system of organizations, in which different types of organs are performing different functions and exhibit various pattern of complexities. If we give some examples, we can see in Platyhelminths there is only single opening which serves as both mouth and anus, hence it is called as incomplete level of organization. As we know that in complete digestive system we can see 2 openings, that is mouth and anus. If you talk about the circulatory system, it is 2 types. One is open type and another is closed type. In open type, we can see blood is pumped out of the heart, but the cells and tissue are directly bathed in it. But in closed type, the blood is circulated through the series of vessels of varying diameters like arteries, veins and capillaries. Then let's talk about the symmetry. As we know that the animals are characterized on the basis of their symmetry. If we talk about sponges, they are mostly asymmetrical. That means if you pass a plane from the center of axis, they will not divided into equal halves. And if we talk about the coelenterals and ctenophores, if any plane passing through the central axis, they will divided into 2 identical halves, and this is called the radial symmetry. If we talk about the annelids and arthropoda, the body can be divided into identical left and right, and this phenomena is called as the bilateral symmetry. So we concluded that this is the type of symmetry shown in the various types of animals. Let's talk about the Diplomastic and Triplobastic organizations. In animal, the cells are arranged into 2 embryonic layers. The first one is the external layer ectoderm, and the second one is the internal layer endoderm. Between these layers, we can see a undifferentiated layer which is called as mesoglia, and these organizations is called as the Diplomastic organizations. We can see it in coelenterals, and here we can see the absence of mesoderm, the germinating layer. So it is called as the Diplomastic level of organizations. Okay. And let's talk about the triplobastic animals. In these animals, the developing embryo has a third germinal layers called mesoderms present between the ectoderm and endoderms. We can see this type of organizations from animals Platyhelminths to phylum Chordates. The presence or absence of xylem takes important roles in the animal classification system. In phylum Annelids to phylum Caudals, we can see the presence of xylem, so they are called the coelomates. In some animals, we can find mesoderm. Instead of mesoderm, they have a scattered pouches between this layer and they are called as the pseudocoelomates. For example, as Cheliminthes. But in some animals, the body cavity is absent are called the ecoelomates. For example, Platyhelminthes. Then let's talk about the segmentations. In some animals, the body is both externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetitions of at least some organs. The examples is earthworm, which exhibits metamorphisms. Then let's talk about the notochord. This is the mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development, and those who don't have notochords are called non-chordates. This can shown from porifera to echinodermates.